Welcome to Hey You Guys Videocast. I'm Tyler Eldridge, and I'm joined with my friend, and I guess co-host today,
Yeah.
Leah Turley.
Hi.
Leah, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I don't expect anything else from you other than being wonderful.
I try.
It's always fantastic when you're around. Now, Leah, I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about a company that you have here in Charleston, West Virginia, and that is the Appalachian Artist Collective.
Yeah.
Also known as the AAC.
AAC. Sure. We kind of started in response to some of the children I've worked with in our public schools here in West Virginia. I started teaching in an after-school program called Explore and Soar at the Clay Center with Stacy Leach Cornell. And so I was teaching there, and I learned very quickly that their communication skills, speaking skills, social skills were far behind what I expected. I had planned to go to DC, where I would do, DC is an amazing theater community. Some of the best theater in the world happens in DC. You have Arena Stage, Constellation Theater Company. I mean, it's just an amazing place for theater. And as a part of one of my interviews for various job offers for theater educator and then auditions, I had to go teach in a school. It was a third grade class. I had to teach an acting class.
It seems a little odd, though, for kids that young to be doing theater, though,
and
isn't it?
That's something that initially I was kind of thrown off.
Yeah.
And then I learned very quickly from the teachers and administrators there that arts education, and specifically theater, is a part of their daily curriculum.
And this is in Washington, D.C.?
Absolutely. Every single day. And we're not talking just third grade. We're talking kindergarten, first, second, all the way through 12th grade. So K through 12 are participating in theater and arts education all the time.
Their whole life. Like
yes.
If they were to come somewhere like maybe West Virginia,
very different,
where we don't do that,
correct,
they would probably be like, where's my art?
Yes.
Where's my theater? Where's my performance?
Well, and as a result of that, their social skills, we're talking about third graders.
Oh, it's probably above and beyond.
Their social skills, language skills, reading skills were unbelievable to me. And I've talked about this before. There was a young man that I had made some offhanded comment about Taming of the Shrew to one of the other people who were interviewing
That's
that
a great
day.
play.
It's amazing. I would love to play Kate.
You would
typical.
be a fantastic Kate, actually.
And so I made an offhanded comment, and this kid is like, "Oh, I saw Taming of the Shrew." Yeah, okay.
Okay, so he's in...
He's in the third grade, and I made an offhanded comment about Taming of the Shrew. And he says, "Oh, I've seen that play." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Yeah, we go see plays all the time. It's something that he and his family do. It's one of their activities." And what that kind of boiled down to for me was that, okay, his parents take him to theater.
Absolutely.
He will continue to be a patron of the arts. He will then probably take his children, his girlfriend, to the theater. So they continue this cycle of a patronage of theater, and that's how they keep this amazing, vibrant theater scene alive in DC. And so in addition to being unbelievably supportive of education, that arts education supports everything we're doing in math, science, reading. It all comes together in theater. And so I really was stuck in this place where I was looking at the children I was working with who were in middle school and seeing that their communication and language skills were far below that of third graders.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I couldn't justify going to DC, knowing what I know about the current state of arts education here in West Virginia, knowing what I know about the current state of theater, professional theater in West Virginia. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Greenbrier Valley Theater is now the only professional theater company.
Only one that we have in West Virginia. And that's sad.
It's unbelievable.
That's not a good thing.
Right. And so I said the best way for me to kind of help strengthen theater here in West Virginia would be to come back and start my own artist-centered theater company where we really give young artists a place to study, a place to practice, to produce shows, because there isn't a lot of that here. And a lot of our young people leave. I left. I had a plan to leave.
Yes, of course.
And I decided to stay so that all of these issues that I see, the one thing that I can do is theater. I can do that.
And you are very very good at it. Let's be honest. I've seen the shows you've done, and I've seen you as an actress act, and the way that you direct. We worked on Friday Night Live together at Capitol High School. Now, Capitol High School, let's say, is a very wonderful performing arts school.
Amazing performing arts magnet school.
We went there. We did plays together.
Yeah.
My favorite I always like to refer to is Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
I played Hansel.
I played Gretel.
You played Gretel, and it was wonderful.
Apparently we look related. We look like we're related.
Yeah, we could be. Who knows?
It's West Virginia.
So we worked on Capitol High School's Friday Night Live in 2013.
Yeah.
And one thing that I loved about doing that with you is getting to see you on the other side of things. I've never worked with you before.
Yeah, that's true.
Where you were directing and putting things together. A little more intense.
Oh, yes.
Which I love to see.
I'm pretty intense.
And also very caring. Always been a caring person, but to see you actually forming and helping children to do better and bringing them out of their shell. Even Capitol has kids that are still in their shell, even though they have a wonderful performing arts program. Now, one thing that I find surprising is that the theater here in Charleston, there's not a lot of it. There are great people doing great things, but you never really hear about it in our general media.
Right.
I don't see a lot of it. I hear about it from the people that I know, but the general masses, I think, are not hearing about our theater that is being done.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I would love to see change. And I'd like to see more coverage happening to this. You'll get write-ups in the newspaper and maybe a little bit of spots here and there, but there's not a lot being produced necessarily, and if it like from the media side.
I think that's when we kind of look to places like Hey You Guys podcast, that we should be kind of looking at media in a different way, not just from the point of view of newspapers and television, because to be honest, those mediums are dying. Most people are now getting their news from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, that you can easily go on and get the exact content that you want. And you are young artists like we are. So I think it's much easier for me to kind of speak freely about what it is I do with someone else who does what I do, rather than speaking to, and we have some amazing reporters in our area, but let's face it, they're not just covering my show or what we're producing. They're also covering, a severe water crisis, anything that's going on in Congress. They're covering politics, health issues, weather. They have a broad spectrum that they're looking to cover. Whereas I think podcasts, especially something like Hey You Guys are looking specifically at art, entertainment, movies, theater. That's your bread and butter. And so I think that's where we can be of service to one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Leah, you have to tell us, what does the AAC have coming up in the near future? What are some of the shows that you are planning on doing?
I think our coolest project coming up right now is Voices of the Mountain, which is a co-production between Appalachian Artists Collective and the Clay Center's Explore and Soar program.
Very wonderful program.
It's so amazing.
Very good.
It is a federally funded program for students in Title I middle schools. Title I schools, if you don't know, are schools in which 40% of the student population is on some kind of state or federal aid. So we're talking about lower income communities who don't ordinarily get arts and sciences education. So one of the things that I noticed in teaching there is that they really don't have a frame of reference for a theater production from inception to completion. And so I thought the greatest place to start is with playwriting.
Absolutely.
And any theater actor will tell you that the script is where it all begins. And so I kind of talked to Mike Murdoch, Mike Murdoch, Slightly Burned Pants.
Wonderful gentleman.
Lovely young man. Mike Murdoch will teach a 2-week playwriting intensive at Van Junior Senior High School.
Check that out.
Yeah, for students 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They will compile as many plays as their creative minds can come up with, so it should be a lot. And then Appalachian Artists Collective will kind of sift through those plays and choose a selection that we will produce. So we, a professional theater company, professional actors, will fully realize their creative works.
Wow.
Yeah, in Walker Theater at the Clay Center. And the Walker Theater is a beautiful, beautiful place.
At the Clay Center.
Yeah.
Doing it at the Clay Center,
Yes.
and it's focused around helping to encourage children to get into theater,
Yes.
and you know, it's going to spark a passion in a lot of those kids.
That's the hope, is that they find something they can grasp onto. And you know, I'm very open about this. Some kids are into sports, some kids are into, you know, science and math, and some kids just want to be a part of something that allows them to express themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Theater affords them that. And then they're lucky enough to, you know, you guys should come see our show.
I would love to come and cover that. I'll probably have to get my co-host,
Of
Chris
course.
Clark, to probably film that night.
Yeah,
Because I'll actually be doing the show.
correct.
I'll be a honorary member.
Tyler
Of
was
the
cast in the
AAC.
show, which is a very difficult process to get through me.
Yeah, Leah is as tough as nails, and
I'm
she
pretty-
only wants the best. If she can get it, you know, she wants to help everyone. But when it comes to putting on the show, you are very particular.
Yeah, we are. We're pretty particular, and we're happy to have you. Yeah, and we're happy to have Hey You Guys podcast. Like I said, this is the future of media. The future of media is the internet. They are podcasts.
Right.
That's really the way that we are getting the information that we want. And like I said, having you and Chris, you guys are far better at interviewing us and speaking to us and seeing our point of view, because you do what we do.
It's easy to get into that mindset and ask and just know where someone's coming from that does what you do
What
on a
you
daily
do,
basis. You know, it's so much easier, and you're right. The medium is changing,
Yes.
and it's becoming. Do a video like this,
Yeah.
and then put it out on the internets for everyone to watch. And you know, it's not black and white papers and whatnot. It's changing.
And there's a human aspect to something like a podcast.
Right. Sure.
Obviously, I've known Tyler for a very long time. I've known Chris for a very long time. I mean, we're talking like 15 years that we've known one another.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's a very long time. We're very old. But we know each other very well, and there's something different in this exchange. You know, I've done plenty of radio interviews, newspaper, television.
Right.
I've done a lot of that, and there is a personal aspect that's missing that I think is necessary when you're producing theater.
Yeah.
Because it is, you know, anyone who's producing theater will tell you this. It's a work of your heart.
It has to be.
And otherwise, you're wasting your time. You need to find
Absolutely.
another business. But it's work that comes from my heart, and it feels like I want to share that with someone who understands.
Right.
Rather than, I feel like sometimes I'm just like speaking at.
You're just
yeah.
someone's there and you're just going on.
Yeah,
you
just
know.
trying to be like, these are the things
This,
that I love.
I love it so much. Please,
And they
believe
tend
me.
not to understand.
Right.
And like I said, you know, they have other things that are of great importance that they're trying to get out to this community. And sometimes things like theater maybe don't fall as high on that list as maybe they would for you and I.
Yeah. And you know, that is one of the things that is sad. Is it like when you were talking about the third grader in DC and the
Unbelievable.
children up there that have that, you know, put into their education.
From Jump Street.
We don't have that.
No.
And it's sad. So I love the fact that you are here and you are making a difference in getting the word out and trying to make theater possible.
I try.
For people
Very
around.
much.
And I'll tell you this, one thing that Chris and I are going to be doing this year and in the following years is really trying to cover shows like that you do and shows that happen at other theaters like the Alban.
Right. Oh, the Alban's beautiful and
Wonderful
amazing.
theater.
Adam Bryan at the Alban is kindred spirit. He does
Tip-top.
unbelievable work. I mean, he really is great. And Arts Resources for the Tri-State in Huntington.
Yeah.
Mike Murdoch is
absolutely.
a resident director. They do unbelievable work, and they're two companies that I'm proud to be associated with. They're always pushing to do more theater. They're expanding their seasons. They're not just doing musicals. You know, I think Mike Murdoch is doing 12 Angry Men. I think it opens on Friday.
It is. It is.
You know, they're always pushing the envelope, and so that's kind of the point. Yeah, I mean, if we're not trying to be better, do better, reach a community, have an artistic statement, have a statement about what we're doing, then I feel like we're wasting not only our time but our community's time.
Listen to this girl here. This lady, I shouldn't say girl.
No,
She's
say
on
girl.
it. She's on it. Stay as young as you
Yeah.
can, as long as you can.
I'm 19.
You look it. Let's be
you.
honest. Let's be honest. Leah,
Yes.
I love that you came today.
I love that you had me.
I would have it no other way.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Remember to like Hey You Guys Productions.
Oh, yes, and please like facebook.com/AAC Theater. It's TheAtre. Give us a like. We'd be happy to have you. You can find all of our show information and contact information there.
Leah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
From right here.
Yes, sir.
See you all next time. Bye. Third grader.
Third grade.